It's Daybreak, and thanks for staying with us. It's now time for the press preview, a first look at what's on the pages as they come in. And we begin with our sister publication this morning. President Tinubu, I am not satisfied with Nigeria's security situation. He's vowing not to relent until insecurity is over, says security remains his government's top priority. Grieves again over Kaduna bombing. The leading photo today for this day. This morning, Nigeria's Osimhen and Oshoala are Africa's best players in 2023. This was at the Confederation of Africa Football as they were being presented with their trophies as Africa's best players in 2023 by CAF Chief. That was yesterday in Marrakesh, Morocco. More headlines from this day this morning. Plots to impeach Fubara, that's the Rivers State governor, takes new turn as Rivers lawmakers defect to the APC. Governor summons emergency EXCO meeting over that development. PDP and the Labour Party, others want INEC to declare defectors' seats vacant. A Joint National Congress urges President Tinubu to call Wike to order, and APC chair welcomes defectors to party. Above the nameplate of this day this morning, federal government may increase 2024 budget if revenue improves next year. That's coming from the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun.
The picture of the victorious trio from Nigeria features on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. I'm talking about Victor Osimhen, Azizat Oshoala, as well as Chiamaka Nnadozie at the CAF Awards on Monday night in Marrakesh, Morocco. Congratulations to them indeed. But the big story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning is that of the political crisis in Rivers State. But here's how the paper captures it. Fubara walks tightrope as 27 Rivers Assembly members dump PDP for APC. Couple of riders to that story. Rivers governor refused to fund the legislature, they allege. PDP asks INEC to declare their seats vacant. SDP APC members join Fubara's camp. Rivers APC caretaker chairman says defection is good news. Clerk to Tinubu, call Wike to order. Let's go above the masthead this morning. Naira redesign insecurity forced farmers into bankruptcy. That's according to the federal government. Senators, reps worry over deaths from hunger and famine. Drone attack victims will get justice, according to the Sultan. Attack is 16 to Nigeria, says Ndume. Reps Northern Caucus donates 350 million naira for rebuilding of bombed Kaduna village. Well, this comes after the 109 senators donated their December salaries to the community as well. Of course, Nigeria dominates CAF Awards. That picture features there. There are a couple of other stories on the Nigerian Tribune. For details of those stories, grab a copy.
All right, The Guardian Nigeria this morning, they're still focusing on the Yuletide season as the big headline this morning says Nigerians groan as basic needs exceed real income. On that graphics info, you can see 90% Nigerians, or more than 90% of Nigerians, cannot afford a healthy diet. 31.52% Nigeria's food inflation, exchange rate at 1,206 naira to the dollar. If you want more information on that, get a copy of The Guardian Nigeria. Also, jail awaits those forging Akeredolu's signature in Ondo State. That's from a commissioner. Nigeria in darkness as national grid collapses again. Rivers lawmakers defection, PDP Labour Party demand fresh poll as Fubara, that's the governor, summons emergency EXCO meeting. The Central Bank of Nigeria responds to cash squeeze, stops charges on large deposits. Above the nameplate of The Guardian this morning, you can't miss that. Osimhen, Oshoala, Nnadozie win as Nigeria sweeps CAF awards.
Look at the victorious faces and smiles on the front page of the Daily Trust this morning. Indeed, Nigeria sweeps CAF awards is what the paper is reporting. Osimhen breaks 24-year jinx, emerges African Footballer of the Year. Oshoala clinches record 6th award, wins Female Footballer of the Year. Nnadozie is Goalkeeper of the Year, Falcons Women National Team of the Year. Another story that makes it to the front page of the Daily Trust this morning, beneath that victorious photograph for Nigerians, is the accidental bombing of civilians must never recall. That's coming from President Bola Tinubu, and he's warning the Nigerian army. How Naira redesign grounded farmers, Agric Minister is saying. Federal High Court faces 144,910 cases in new legal year. That's a lot. CBN suspends processing fees on large deposits. Will that bring back all the Naira? And just below the masthead this morning, Fubara mom, PDP demands fresh polls as 27 pro-Wike lawmakers join APC. A disturbing story here. Organ harvest. Victims sue Alliance Hospital, demand 700 million naira compensation, and bandits abduct 23 in Abuja community. The minister has been speaking tough about the security situation in Abuja. I guess it will go beyond speaking tough. That's the Daily Trust for you.
The New Telegraph this morning, its headline on the front page focusing on the health sector crisis. Nigeria to lose 500 consultants to retirement and brain drain. That's coming from the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria. Says the sector lost close to 1,000 consultants in the last 5 years. Warns of bleak future as staff strength halved and hospital units closed. Also, quality of patients' care keeps reducing. And more headlines from the New Telegraph. Nigeria thrown into darkness as national grid collapses yet again. Rivers crisis. Fubara holds emergency meeting as 27 lawmakers dump the PDP for the APC. That's the New Telegraph.
The photographs of President Bola Tinubu in Borno State makes the front page of the Nigerian Punch this morning. Yes, the Tinubu condemns police station burning, tells army to protect democracy is the story accompanying that photograph there. And the big story is the Rivers crisis. PDP moves to replace 27 pro-Wike Assembly defectors. All eyes on Rivers State. How is this going to play out? Aggrieved legislators no longer Rivers Assembly members. Declare seats vacant. PDP writes INEC. Defected lawmakers threaten to reject Governor Fubara's requests. APC hails defection. As you would imagine, a whole 27 lawmakers just like that. Well, above the masthead this morning, Labour is fuming as federal government stops 35,000 naira award payment. Are we likely to see industrial action in that stead? CBN cancels large depositors' fines amid naira scarcity. Is that the solution? Fingers crossed. Osimhen, Oshoala win Africa Footballer of the Year awards. A recurring story on the front page of the National Dailies this morning. The Punch for you.
The Financial Times, as we move to the international papers this morning. Oil states face outrage as fossil fuel phase-out dropped from COP draft. There's a push to harden deal's final text. Also, Saudi is accused of diverting focus, and there's anger in small Pacific nations. You can see the leading photo there as an indigenous climate activist from India protesting at the meeting yesterday. The plaque there says, "End fossil fuel, save our planet and our future." More from the Financial Times this morning. The vaccine prince, that's India's billionaire vaccine prince Adar Poonawalla, advances to Mayfair in a £138 million deal for the year's priciest home.
The majority of Tuesday's newspapers focus on the battle facing Rishi Sunak as the Prime Minister attempts to persuade Tory MPs to support his flagship Rwandan bill. Well, let's look at how the Eye is reporting it this morning. The Eye newspaper describes the tense situation as a standoff, suggesting that it is the most significant Commons vote of Mr. Sunak's premiership. Well, that's the Eye for you.
The Guardian UK this morning, climate draft condemned as weak and insufficient. That's a draft deal to cut global fossil fuel production. They say is grossly insufficient and incoherent, and also will not stop the world facing dangerous climate breakdown. This is according to delegates at the UN's COP28 summit in Dubai. Tusk vows to chase away the evil as Poland's prime minister. That's Donald Tusk. The photo there, The Guardian UK, of Rishi Sunak arriving at the COVID inquiry in London, where he gave evidence yesterday. I think this inquiry started last week with, with the former PM Boris Johnson also giving evidence. Also on the Prime Minister, Sunak in desperate bid to avoid Rwanda bill defeat. And just at the top there, Barbie leads the way at the Golden Globes. That's The Guardian UK.
Do we have the Daily Mail this morning? And that's the dramatic headline there, down to the wire. It suggests that the Rwanda bill vote in the Commons on Tuesday evening could sink Rishi Sunak's leadership. It also highlights breakfast time talks the Prime Minister will hold with rebels aimed at heading off a defeat. There is a striking photograph you cannot miss on the front page of the Daily Mail this morning. It's that of Yovel Shavat, whose new husband was shot dead on October 7. She models a dress at Tel Aviv fashion show, representing the violence of Hamas.
All right, that's all we have on the press preview. Let's hear your view on all the burning issues. You can also follow us on X at Arise TV.